Well, we're getting plenty of sunshine lately, even though it's colder. But as we have to go along with that, that's what life's all about. The ups, the downs, the warm spells and the cold spells. But is there anybody here at this time from another unity? Raise your hand if you are. We have a fabulous gift for you. All right, is there anybody here for the first time? Raise your hand if you are. Okay, we're not giving out any gifts today. All right. Well, we are here, and if we think about it this way, we'll always be in a good place. We are here, wherever we are, each one of us, by divine appointment. It's not just happenstance, it just didn't happen. Everything is a lesson in life, and wherever we are, and whatever lessons are coming our way, they are there by divine appointment. And so you're going to get some great insights into that truth from Syntysche. Look forward to this talk. It's going to be great.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unity of Boulder. My name is Mike. I'm the administrator here. If you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything at all you want to chat about, please just come into the office anytime and say, hey, where's Mike? And I will appear. So that's my pleasure, so come on, say hello. I got a few announcements of upcoming things that are happening right now. It is December, so we know Christmas is coming. Our Christmas service is going to be on Christmas Eve, December 24th. We're having two shows, 5:30 and 7:30. You can get your free tickets. They're in the lobby. Please grab the tickets. The reason we do the free tickets is it helps us kind of plan for how many people are coming for each service. But grab an extra one or two for a friend, a neighbor, a family member who maybe has never been to Unity of Boulder. This is a fantastic way to introduce someone new to Unity of Boulder. So please grab them. They're out in the lobby. They are as free as they can be. Our ACIM, A Course in Miracles Perennials group, is going to restart up a meeting this week. It's actually going to be on Tuesday. It's usually on Thursdays, but we're going to try it on Tuesdays this year. That's Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7:30. You don't have to sign up for it. All you have to do is show up. But remember, this is the Course in Miracles Perennials group. This is for people who have already taken the Course in Miracles and have already done that year class. This is for people who want to continue that work. And you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to sign up. You just show right on up, 6 o'clock this Tuesday, each week, ongoing. Today, following the service at 1 p.m. Is our Conscious Communications class, which is led by Steve Hayes, who has been teaching conscious communication for at least a decade. He's fantastic at it. You don't have to sign up for it either. It's just a suggested love offering of $10. Just show up downstairs and Steve will greet you and join you into that group. So please check that out if you haven't. I work with Steve every day. I communicate with him every single day. Trust me, he's very conscious about his communication. He's awesome. I would definitely back his class. It's fantastic. We're also having our annual Winter Solstice celebration, December 21st. That's a Wednesday night. It's going to be following our usual Wednesday night meditation service. That will be led by Norma Groverland. Another thing you don't have to sign up for. You just show up, 8 p.m., December 21st, celebrate our Winter Solstice. Let's see what else we got going. We are still in the middle of our gift drive for Wounded Knee. We have a tree out here in the lobby, and it has little tags on it with names and ages of children, age, names, and gender of children. So you can grab that tag and go buy a very specific gift for that person. Please, we've got plenty of tags out there. Please grab a tag on your way out and get a kid a fantastic gift this year. We're also still looking for food for the meal that we send up there, and there's out in the lobby, there is a big board with all the food items we need. You can mark off an item, cross it out, put your name next to it, and bring it anytime this week. We're doing that up until December 20th. So if you have anything you want to bring for that, please bring. That goes with the gifts and with clothing as well. If you have any clothing you want to bring in, please bring that in. We're looking for warm clothes. We're not looking for general casual wear. We're looking for coats, jackets, snow pants, boots, anything like that that helps keep someone warm through the winter. If you have heaters, anything that helps keep blankets, anything like that. That's the kind of stuff we're collecting. So please bring that on in anytime during the week. We're always here collecting it. So bring it on in. And let's see. It is the end of the year, and if you happen to be looking to make a year-end tax-deductible donation to any organization, we ask you to please keep Unity of Boulder in mind. We are, as year-to-date, as far as our operating expenses, we're about $56,000 down than we were last year. So please keep us in mind for any year-end tax-deductible donation. And that's it as far as the announcements go. So now I'd like to welcome our today's musical guest out. You will recognize her once again back to our stage, Miss Marcy Baruch. Take it away.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, let's get the mic on. La, 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 la. It isn't quite on in the monitor, Josh. It will be? Cool. All right, let's do it. Do you remember me? I sat upon your knee. I wrote to you of childhood fantasies. Well, I'm all grown up now and still need help somehow. I'm not a child, but my heart still can dream. So here's my lifelong wish, my grown-up Christmas list. Not for myself, but for a world in need. No more lives torn apart, that wars would never start, and time would heal all hearts, and everyone would have a friend, and right would always win, and love would never end. No, this is my grown-up Christmas list. As children we believe the grandest sight to see is something lovely wrapped beneath our tree.
Beautiful. Come on, choir, we've got singing to do. We're not talking quite yet. We're going to ask you to stand up and sing a Christmas song with us.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song. With joyful ring, all caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they come, praising their Son, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Time only sent, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away.
That's just a little taste of what you'll get on Christmas Eve. But those are the sing-along songs. There's lots of solos and quartets, and the show is so beautiful, and it's coming together, and it's a lot to look forward to. So make sure you invite your friends and family. And it's not the same if you do it online, because the candlelight service and all the things that we do together collectively, it just makes Christmas sing. And to sing, they say, is to pray twice. So to be able to sing all ththese songs that we grew up with, it's healing, and it brings that happiness of this season. So for sure, join us on Christmas Eve at 5:30 or 7:30, and you need free tickets, and you can grab them on your way out of here today. All right. So we had a party on Friday night. We had the volunteer and all-church Christmas party, and we did a caroling party. There was a bake-off competition, and there was an ugly sweater competition. We had such a blast. We danced, we sang. Check our Facebook out and join us on Facebook. You can see all the fun things we're doing here. I want to see more of you attending these ways of playing together. Spiritual people playing together is really a wonderful thing, to have a family beyond the family we were born into. So today my talk title is Healing to Completion. This is the third talk of a 4-talk series, which I'll be completing next week. And the topic for today's talk is stepping into divine alignment with Source. Stepping into divine alignment with Source. We all know that we've been through so much in the last few years, and we're kind of at this pinnacle now where I'm noticing in my meetings with others that people are starting to get the answers to the why. So many things have fallen away for people, and why we've had so much struggle emotionally, physically, and spiritually through this basically an ascension process that's happening to every single person on this planet right now. And we're probably some of the lucky ones. Our catastrophes aren't nearly what they are around the world, but there's an emotional awakening, and it's not been easy for anybody. Nobody has escaped this one. And there's something really exciting about it, because it shows that there is a divine dimension to this ascension, and it is not by accident. All of it, when we start to look at everything being caused and affected by what we are holding and harboring about ourselves and what we're bringing into this world, a lot of us are growing right now. A lot of us are finding pieces of ourselves that we didn't know existed. And the more we get to know these parts of ourselves that need to be seen and unearthed, it took a lot of falling away for us to discover these grand, powerful beings that we are, so that we can step in vibrationally in divine alignment with Source to be the second coming of this Christ that Christianity talks about, which we look at it metaphysically. We believe and know that this Christ potential lives within each and every one of us. And as we unravel and take down the edges and we soften into a place where we understand that we are soul first, we have developed souls that are innately within ourselves. And the more we become more focused into meditating into that energy, the more it's preceding us as we move into our lives, in our parenting, in our work, in our marriages, permeating with this love that you came in as and are. But many of us have forgotten it, as mirrors of people and the human condition have shown us that there was something maybe less than about us or limited about us. And that's always a human experience, but a spiritual experience doesn't see through that lens. A spiritual being is whole, right here, right now, always has been. And anything that's made you feel less than whole has been in your illusion of your life, or believing in the outer picture of what people have said, what people have shown to you. And when you step into divine alignment, no one else has a say in your life besides Spirit and you. That divine guidance, that divine wisdom is you, and we have to find how we get into that alignment. Spiritual alignment is when your thoughts, feelings, and actions are aligned with a higher truth, an elevated being of who you are. Spiritual alignment is an important part of one's specific ascension journey. It is crucial in recognizing your energy and then determining the necessary steps needed to lift, to raise your energetic fields and vibrations. When you are in spiritual alignment, everything flows easier. Spiritual flow exists when all aspects of your life feel more attuned with your inner being. When you are in spiritual alignment, everything flows easier. So let's just sit with that. Flows easier. So look at your life right now and discover what is flowing effortlessly. And then look at the part of your lives where you feel like you're kind of hitting up against the wall and you're not finding access to move through and bring healing, or evoke the law of attraction, or, if it's financial or it's physical or it's mental. All of these three things are the Holy Trinity in the metaphysical Christian life. It's the mind, body, and spirit. Those three things have to be in alignment, and those all have to be in wholeness for us to step into the life that was meant for us. But if we're still living in this place of perpetual healing, one thing at a time, instead of recognizing, even in the midst of the storm in this world, we can heal in completion by just choosing that. And not bleeding to every other person that will listen to you why you're a victim of this life, or why you're a victim of your childhood, or why you were a victim of a spouse, or, right, all of those things. You will determine the choices you're going to make, because you want the mind, body, spirit, the Holy Trinity active and activated in your life. So synchronicities, or seemingly coincidental situations, occur more frequently when we're in divine alignment. Repeated number patterns like 1111, 222, there's spiritual numbers, and you can look them up online and find out what that actually is saying to you. When you realize that even your clock has spirit talking to you. When you look through a lens that absolutely everything that's being shown to you is of the divine. You have free will and you can leave it. We have free will. But if you started to align with the fact that everything is leading you to the path of righteousness and freedom and health and power and beauty, and not power in a controlling way, power is evoking healing in every aspect of your life where you're finding that you're not healed. So typically these things occur to urge individuals towards their highest path, to let someone know they are headed in the right direction, or to simply provide comfort and assurance. So I would like you to just look back on your week and look at any synchronicities that happen. Not coincidences, I don't even believe those even exist. Synchronicity, where it's absolutely direct connection. Something happened without you even putting your mind to it, but it absolutely just came into focus. And I hope it's multiple times, because that should be happening every single day, a few times a day. If that's not happening, that's a sign that you're not in divine alignment with Source. You might not be taking that time for meditation before coffee. So right, the spiritual work first before everything. Maybe a glass of water is okay. Especially lemon water. That's the best way to start your day, actually. It's very healthy for you. So once individuals are aware they have spiritual guides, we've been working with this for the last few weeks in the meditation. I've been having you meet with your spirit guide during the meditation, and I'm not going to be doing that again today, so look back on unityofboulder.com or at YouTube, Unity of Boulder, and you can go through those meditations to identify your spirit guide that is working in and through your life at all times and is calling you to your divine alignment at all times. So once individuals are aware they have spiritual guides looking out for them and guiding them every step of the way, they may feel more empowered to take leaps of faith and take action from a place of courage and bravery. When you realize that you truly are not alone, you'll have things like sounds happen when you needed to wake up and your alarm didn't go off. You ever had, like today, I had like a weird growl sound happen next to my head, and my dog was completely asleep. It was kind of like a chirpy, like a fox making a chirp sound, and I was like, what the heck was that? But my alarm never went off. Like, that's your spirit guide. They're on it. They know your schedule, and they're not gonna let you get behind, but it was a strange sound, and it definitely woke me up. This last week, I was driving home from the office, and I was going to be coming back to a rehearsal, and I remember I was sitting at Iris and Folsom, and I just got this direct memory of Emma Barnsley, who's one of the founders of Unity of Boulder, and her daughter and I grew up together. And I just went down memory lane of being co-raised by her. She was this angelic being, and there were 4 women and like 2 men that founded the study group of Unity, but then they picked the Groverland family when we came here from Texas. And she was a big part of my upbringing. She was the resonance of pure love in this world. And I was just thinking of how, you know, it is truly a tribe that raises you. I have an incredible mother, and she has all these attributes, but this one was just love. That's all she was just pure love. She'd accidentally had this daughter at 45 years old, and her 2 kids were already in college. She's still married to the same person, so like Janelle was this just a dream to her. Like that, and so then I get to be a part of that like miracle child. And I enjoyed the whole ride home. And then I went to rehearsal at night, and then the next day I came in and Steve says, "This is a note for you. Janelle," and she said Janelle was really upset on the phone. I went, oh my gosh, did she pass? But what, out of nowhere, I haven't thought of Emma Barnsley in years. And she was calling to say she's in the process of taking her transition and going to the other side. See, and that, I mean, it gives me shivers sharing it with you, but it doesn't surprise me at all. There was a reason why I was going down memory lane and basking in the beauty, because Emma contacted me. She's in that ethereal realm now, about to cross over. And I guess I was of importance in that. It might have not been necessarily me as much as my parents were of importance of that. She and my parents were very close. When I got a hold of them, they immediately went out to see her. When we're in this divine alignment, we don't have to worry what comes in the future. The universe lands in our lap. The work lands in our lap. The joy lands in our lap. Our depression leaves. Our health returns, because we've become aligned with this divine nature. And it takes faith to trust that this is real. But you have to believe it to live this. You have to believe it to see it. It's not going to show you that this is real until you live from the truth that this is cosmic consciousness as you in action. So last week I used this, I want to catch us up a little bit from last week. This is from a book called Waking Up in 5D. You may not realize how much your language heavily impacts what is happening in your life. As you talk to yourself and others, what stories are you telling? What patterns are you reinforcing? Many are blind to how, through repetition, we empower the stories we think about and the stories we tell. That is why it is so important for you to learn how you can create and inhabit fifth dimension by consciously choosing your words. And that really is important, as far as we think that we can just stop talking negatively or pointing out what somebody's wearing or laughing at somebody behind their back, or, when you're in divine alignment, you will hurt. Your core and being will actually be really upset when you live without that alignment, right? Your moral and spiritual and beautiful compass is refined. And when we go into the old alignment that we might have been before, just to be silly or something, it's like a lightning bolt of, oh, I'm not that anymore. As we grow, we don't go backwards. As we step into our divine alignment, we keep moving forward and growing spiritually into the angelic, like an Emma Barnsley, who did nothing but selflessly serve people. And there was no tire that woman had, that was she tired of it. She was a radiating light for the divine. And many of you are the radiating light, and I can see that in you, and I'm so grateful for all of you, that you're willing to step into this truth, to do good for others. That's what this season's about. It's not about receiving. We receive so much more by the giving, right? Is there any present you've ever really remembered that was like, oh, that really stuck out? Like giving to someone that really needed it, right? Nothing more wonderful. And one of the things she said was that to clarify, whatever you focus on strengthens your heart's desire. And this is coming from what I just read. And creates more of the same, what you authentically desire. Language is a strong and significant key to creating more mastery at every level. Let your language be open-ended, without preference or prejudice, so you can speak the language of fifth dimension with grace and ease. She said to start to notice your verb preferences and your verb tenses. Next, I invite you to stop using terms such as weird, hopefully, or funniest things, which imply unexpected and not normal results. But to use things like this. Happily, we are moving forward. Even though in your soul, things are a little stagnant right now, you're changing that vibration. You're stepping into alignment of what is possible instead of what actually looks at hand at the moment, because that's you believing in the limitation, right? It might look really stuck, but when we move and change our preferences, happily we are moving forward, or I am moving forward. That was so interesting. Joyfully we are moving into, gratefully I'm experiencing, delightfully I am. I am happy too. You're always welcome to have your phones out here and take pictures of PowerPoints. I would highly recommend it. This is really good. I've been working with it recently. I have a friend who, on the outside, really good friend and really deep spiritual human being, who has been facing a foreclosure on the property. Like, investments just went the wrong way financially, and every single thing was imploding in this person's life in the last few months. And I've been walking with this person moving through, getting into divine alignment, talking about it constantly, and this person's working it. And I saw the loss of hope a lot in this person, and it concerned me because everything this person has worked for to this point, and this person's on this side of life, like my side of life, where you don't want to go backwards, and all of a sudden it's all unraveling, that everything this person worked for. And he realized that if he kept asking why things were happening, it was creating a discord in him, looking for the answer of why is all this hardship happening. And instead of just flowing with what was and trusting, getting into that divine alignment, that something is happening, something good is happening, and not even putting what that is. It's in that faith that this greater something has all these falling away because something is coming. And in the last 2 weeks, everything has shifted mentally and spiritually for this person. And everything is falling into place. But boy, has this been the test. But this is also an old soul, and this is a very spiritual being. So this test has been deep, and it's been rough. And he sent me an audio that was on my email today, and it said, he's very sarcastic, and he's from New York, so let me just be careful here. He said, "I am so effing blessed. My life right now, compared to the contrast of my life 2 weeks ago, I am overflowing with gratitude." And he cried, and he cried and cried in this recording. And it just lifted. I have chills all over me right now because this experience is not easy. It tests us and it pushes us to reveal unto us this divine power, this divine love that is so orderly and so on time, on script. It's just us that says, oh my God, why won't anything get better? And that's because we're trying to force our way. Jesus said, thy will be done, not my will. Thy will be done. In Lessons in Truth, which is a founding book of unity that was written by Emily Cady, she goes on to say this: what you want today and what I want is that the words that we have learned to say as truth be made alive to us. We want a revelation of spirit in us as life, to be made to our own personal consciousness as health. We no longer care to have somebody just tell us the words from the outside. This is really important. You are never going to get it from the words that somebody says outside of you. You have to take to task what I'm sharing here with you. And you have to digest it. You have to revel in it. And you have to allow this to move and build a spark of light and life within you. We want a revelation of spirit as love within us, so that our whole being will be filled and thrilled with love. A love that will not have to be pumped up by a determined effort, because we know that it is right to love and wrong to not love. But a love that will flow with the spontaneity and fullness of an artesian well, because it is so full at the bottom that it must flow out. This is what unity is based on. This book, Lessons in Truth, if you want to know what the foundation of unity is, this is the one that will let you understand how we use the Bible and how we look at it metaphysically and how we break it down. So we understand that these stories are about us. They're not about some distant day thousands of years ago about Jesus and the walk that he did. He was an example of the generation, us coming in. And then there's the degeneration, where we lose the memory of spirit, of all this intuition, all this forethought, all the things that make us thrive in this world. That degeneration is the fallout. Because we have to kind of skin our knees to go, okay, what, God? What do you want for me? Please, God, help me. And in those moments is when that light sparks again, that prana lights up and starts to fill our being. Insights are shown to us. Intuition is there. Synchronicities, that's the divine alignment when that fire is burning through you as healer for self and others. And did you know that you have to love yourself to let that happen? And you also have to like yourself to let that happen. Because that love of self is love for God. You are the perfect reflection as that perfect child of God. Every single one of you are important. Every single one of you are needed. Every single one of you are loved unconditionally. And I just want that for you because I just want you to be happy. This life is hard when we don't like ourselves, and we're not very nice to other people when we don't like ourselves either. So, our primary sign that an individual is out of self-alignment is by having negative, instinctual spiritual feelings. This can be described as a gut feeling or a slight sense of misdirection. While the feeling is not overwhelming, it will be persistent. So this kind of persistence of unhappiness. Depression can happen, or a loss of motivation can be another range of negative spiritual feelings an individual may undergo when out of touch with alignment and balance of the self. So if you're experiencing lethargy, like just tired, not feeling really motivated, feeling a lack of direct connection with spirit, or having dreams that are inspiring you, or feeling like you have hope of a future, these are all signs and symbols that you are directly out of alignment with Source, with Spirit. And it's meditation that takes us back. So, a wonderful tool for maturing and activating alignment is first learning to drop the question of why. Why is this happening to me? Why am I losing my home? Why doesn't anything work for me? Why am I in this endless suffering? The only one that knows the answer to that is actually you, your heart. That heart that is directing you has the answers. And you'll know the why only when it's been resolved. And how many times you look back in your life, you're like, oh, that's why. And it's years later, and you're like, man, if I just let go and stopped knocking at that door that was locked forever, like, come on, open, open, open. I'm not willing to pivot. I'm not willing to change. I'm not willing to find another direction. I'm not willing to flow to the door, the open door for your divine unfoldment, where it just is ease and flow. And it's the life you couldn't have even dreamt for yourself. So this summer, I went to a ministers' conference in Missouri, and my brother, Shad, is what is his role, Dad?
He's the CEO and president of Unity Worldwide.
He's the CEO and president of Unity Worldwide headquarters, right? So I have to obviously be on my best behavior as his sister. I used to have a lot of fun with at these things, and there's lots of fun, But now I'm his sister, and we gotta make him look good. So, which I don't like to do anything that I don't feel like doing, but that's okay. Anywho, so probably the third day, my brother is a vegan, and he's a staunch vegan, and actually, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore were also vegan. That was really an important part. But my whole life, we grew up vegetarian, and then as a dancer, I found the diet that worked for me, which is paleo, which is meat and vegetables, basically, is what you live on. And I just wasn't willing to shake that diet because my body looked good like that. That's the one I had found that worked, made me feel the healthiest and all that. And there was a vegan scientist expert that was talking about the future of the planet. And he did a seminar where, a lot of unities are in Texas, Missouri. So this is very low attended, let's just put it that way, because they all eat ribs and steaks and all these things. So I'm there supporting my husband. There's probably 20 other ministers there. And this man spoke from his heart about what meat does to your actual body, and the adrenaline and all the things of the animals and their lifestyles and the life of them. And if you actually truly love pets, he says, how could you eat animals? And something clicked that day. Something just clicked. I'm not trying to change your minds. I'm just saying that my divine alignment aligned somewhere different that day. And I was okay with the current that I was going on, but something switched in me, and I could never eat meat again. I haven't touched a piece of meat from that moment. And you'll find that as you're developing and you're growing your spiritual alignment, some things just don't work in your presence anymore, or in your being. Your livingness of the spiritual life, all of a sudden there's things you just can't do anymore. But before I got that, I got so sick. So sick. I was sitting there like, God, my stomach hurts. My stomach hurts. And I said, I gotta go back to the room. I don't feel good. And then I just started throwing up, and I could not get it together to the point I got hospitalized. I got so sick from this alignment shift that happened. Something about me coming into the truth of something that I was denying within myself, and I knew probably longer, and I was pushing it away because my outer appearance was more important than the truth that I knew within myself. And so this vibration was fighting inside of me, and they call it a chemicalization process. It's when a new inspiration hits you, and it's not going to let you go until you step into the divine alignment. That shook me to my core enough to, when people go, do you even miss it? It's like, I can't remember. I think about it, and it makes me nauseous to think about me. Like something just changed. And that is the essence of moving in alignment. And as you step in alignment, you're going to keep stepping in alignment because you're heightening consciousness. We're all talking about getting the 5D consciousness, or I'm not saying vegetarian is that way. I'm saying for my own soul's growth, that's what I discovered. You'll discover your own things. There's nothing wrong with eating meat. That's your choice. I did it forever. But when it's waking up in you, something has changed. You have to follow it. We aren't the same people. Every single day we're new. Sometimes all of a sudden a friend just doesn't work anymore in our life. We get that this lower nature that's living within is actually affecting the vibration that we're in. And eventually we just have to step into higher consciousness. You just find that some things have to fall away for us to get in this direct connection with God. So there's a wonderful thing. It's called Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. This is a way of overcoming things that are stuck. Over 1,000 years after Shakyamuni, amidst the turbulence of 13th century Japan, Nichiren similarly began a quest to recover the essence of Buddhism for the sake of the suffering masses. Awakening to the law of life himself, Nichiren was able to discern that this fundamental law is contained within Shakyamuni's Lotus Sutra, and that it is encapsulated and concisely expressed in the sutra's title, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. This is a prayer of overcoming, and this works. So when you sit in meditation and you're facing something that feels like it's a trial or it's turbulent, and you don't know how to access, how you can overcome this or how you can change it, you just see the situation in your mind's eye, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And I'm going to break this down for you. Nam comes from the Sanskrit namas, meaning to devote or dedicate yourself. This is what I was saying originally. You can maybe have a glass of water, but then you head into that spiritual life, that devotion, or dedicate oneself. I like to have a space in my house that I'm not praying to a God, but I do have a big Buddhist statue, and I have my crystals, and I have my incense, and it's a place where the sacred takes place every day in my life. And so my intention is always this giving and giving. The devotion is giving. Devotion is seeing that this is part of us, but we just give. I devote myself to this spiritual life. So that's nam, when you're saying that. So you're saying, okay, my marriage is in trouble. So nam, I dedicate myself to oneself. I dedicate to devote yourself to the spiritual life. Mio can be translated as mystic or wonderful, and ho means law. Translated as mystic law. So I'm devoted to overcome this issue in my marriage, or with whatever you feel. I have no issue with my marriage. I'm just making that clear. I'm just using that as an example. I'm devoted to translated to mystical law. I'm open up to the mystical law, the unseen part of life that guides and directs. There's no textbooks for this. You're calling, you are actually evoking the spiritual when you're doing this prayer. So, nam, myo, ho. Reiki, which is supposed to be renge, meaning lotus blossom, this is important, is a metaphor that offers further insight into the qualities of this mystic law. The lotus flower is pure and fragrant, unsullied by the muddy water in which it grows. Unsullied by the muddy water in which it grows. What does that represent? The world. The muddy water, right? That beautiful lotus flower still thrives, even in the midst of hardship, darkness, filth. Lotus flower is pure and fragrant, unsullied by the muddy water in which it grows. Similarly, the beauty and dignity of our humanity is brought forth amidst the sufferings of daily reality. Kyo literally means sutra, and here indicates the mystic law likened to a lotus flower, the fundamental law that permeates life and the universe and the eternal truth. So I'm going to put that up if you want to take a picture so you can work with that this week. It's a powerful prayer, and we're not using this prayer to change God or change Spirit to make things different in ourselves. We're using that to get out of our own way, to believe that this divine law has power to move in, and we're getting out of our own way. Spirit's always trying to fix and heal and be revealed in our lives, but we are the ones that block that energy. It's a constant. You don't have to pray to change God. We're praying to change us and change our limited thoughts we feel about ourselves and the low-grade fever we have from our childhoods and the things that we've carried that keep telling us you're not enough. Instead of knowing you are enough. So I'm going to take us into meditation and just sit quietly, and we're going to this is a meditation that my friend that's going through all this sent me. And I'm going to share it with you from what he's experienced from pretty much losing everything and finding Spirit so abundantly in his life. So let's just sit in our seat with our sit bones, and if you can, not have the back of your chair supporting you. It's important to use the core to be engaged in our devotional process. And so we're going to sit comfortably and begin to focus on your breathing. Breathing in and out, only through your nose if you can. And take another deep breath. Allow your body to relax. Tune in to the messages your body is telling you. Take another deep breath and tune into your heart. Feel the messages your emotional body is sending you. Take a deep breath now. Tune into your mental body. What are you thinking? Now take a deep breath out of all the information you have just received. You're going to formulate an intention for alignment now. Bring your body, heart, and mind into alignment with this intention. Hold this intention and take another deep breath. And as you breathe out, let the intention whisper on your lips, riding your breath, combining with all the other intentions being offered. Notice any resistance that arises. Is it of service? Alignment. It is dependent on your point of view. Take a deep breath and allow your point of view to move around your being. When you observe the alignment that you seek, take a deep breath and focus on it. What will it take to bring about this alignment? What thoughts that you were thinking will need to change to bring that body into alignment with your heart and your physical body? What thoughts that you were thinking will need to change to bring that body into alignment with your heart and your physical body? What emotional issues need their point of view to be fine-tuned? What actions are out of alignment with the intention you have stated? Take a deep breath in now. And take a deep breath out. See yourself in that place of alignment. Feel your body relax, not having to carry any unbalanced weight. Breathe in. Feel the peace and the knowing that comes with alignment. Anchor to this feeling, the feeling of alignment, of oneness, of unity. And so it is. To this we say, thank you and amen. I really encourage you during this season to take that time to meditate every day. Enjoy the blissful time that this season brings, all the magic of it and the sparkliness, and don't get caught up in the speediness or the overwhelm of all you have to pull off. Pull off what is imbalanced in your being. That's all anybody really wants from you. You have nothing to prove to anyone. Your loving giving is your presence of wholeness and healthfulness in each other's lives and mirroring that peace, singing together. We don't have to do all this buying. It's the being with each other that makes this season so wonderful. And call your parents and your grandparents and tell them you love them. And if they're not on the planet anymore, they're still right here. They want to hear from you. Love you.
Well, freely we have received insights and inspiration to take into our lives, improve our experiences, our relationships. It's what the truth is all about. Not about some distant heaven someday, but here and now. But let's use these holidays to dare to have fun. Dare to have fun. And so let that happen for you in these holiday seasons. And so we have freely received Marcy share her incredible music with us again. Did you write that first song? No?
No, Grown Up Christmas List.
I never heard that song before.
Never heard that.
No.
Maybe we can learn it together after the service. And maybe you can sing it next time.
All right, no, I'll pass on that.
It's so wonderful to be here and anticipating Christmas. The lights and the greens and the joy and the coming together in a mystery so profound that it, to me anyway, is like it's almost always unraveling before me. And I can never get a grasp of it, but I know that it's holy and awesome and huge and powerful. And I think back to that first Christmas with Mary and how terrified she must have been with what she was experiencing, and also filled with a kind of awestruckness because she knew the promise of God that was in her heart that she held to. And I can just see her holding fast to that, no matter what, holding to that promise. With her terror and with her deep knowing all at the same time. I have traveled many moonless nights, cold and weary, with a babe inside, and I wonder what I've done. Holy Father, you have come and chosen me now to carry your Son. I am waiting in a silent prayer. I am frightened by the load I bear in a world as cold as stone. Must I walk this path alone? Be with me now. Be with me now.
Do you wonder as you watch my face if a wiser one should have had my place? But I offer all I am for the mercy of your plan. Help me be strong. Help me be. Help me. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, breath of
I think we should just close it right there. This is so beautiful. Oh my God, it is so amazing. I love you. Thank you. Okay, so I think we've been blessed today. Just filling that glass with all this spiritual light, and just implore you to go out there and just share this light with others and find ways you can be of God's love for this world at this time and at all times. When you're being called, there's nothing more important than that moment that we help others, you know. So we have prayer partners available to you if you're facing a challenge or even a joy that you would like to share. You can stay seated in your seat, and our prayer partners with these white sashes will come and find you and pray with you or just even share with you. And then I have a discussion group that I always have after the service. If you want to come and discuss further this talk that I gave, we'll meet back here in about 10 minutes, and I will call it in the fellowship hall. So go have food and coffee, and I'll come and get you, and then we'll all talk after that. So let's all close, and we're going to sing "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Any choir members that want to come? Let there be peace on earth, and let it be on earth. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with brothers free in all. I really